if I'm close. Hey, thanks for watching. We're going to move these colts out again. I'm kind of always watching to see how their transitions are. It also kind of tells me if they're a little tight or apprehensive to move out here. I'm not apt to hurry them a whole lot on their back. And again, I kind of talked the other day about bending them and waiting on the feet. I really like to get that life kind of up on the surface where that's under 3 seconds before I kind of start moving them out. That way I got a little bit to help them. If we had to go do something, I'd probably lope them pretty quick because they might get a little fast out there, and I want the exposure to kind of in a controlled environment a little bit the first time if I can help it. But if not, I'm not in a hurry because again, there's so much riding. As they're small, a little smaller anyways, they're still maturing. I like them to give them that time. That's one of the nice things about kind of starting my own horses. I try to go slow with the clients' horses as well, but the clients are looking to get them going a little faster, so I need to kind of cover the grounds a little faster, and I'm just not in a rush. We got plenty of other horses to ride, so there's usually a struggle to get all the horses rode anyways. I got others to do a job on, so these are kind of fun, and to build that foundation in as strong as I can slowly, because it's easier to think when things are going slow. When you learn dance steps, you don't go full pace, and when you start to go full pace, it all kind of falls apart. And the same a little bit in horses, so I'm just not in a rush until I get some slow, accurate dance steps. Just like basketball, football, any sport I've ever played, you work on basics, and you kind of go slow consistently until that gets smooth. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. We'll move them out before she starts chewing on my Tesla saddle. Minnie, get out.
Come on, Min.
Good, pretty free to move out. I'd like them a little bit more. Last time, the Strawberry filly, she was able to kind of hang out with me while I drove the other one, so I wanted to give Simi, the Bayroan, a little chance to hang out with me. She hung out, but she didn't stay hooked on, so she chose to kind of go out there and move out. But like in church, we talked about what happens when life bumps you, and it was really cool if it shows up on video. I don't know if the camera angle, but when Simi bumped Rue, it kind of bumped. And a lot of times horses will get tight because things are going to happen. They're going to bang into the fence. They're going to bump into maybe another horse as you're going. Maybe something's going to move. And I'd like them to kind of see and stay centered. Like they didn't get too tight. They didn't get too bothered about it. It wasn't great that they kind of glided. It's like, hey, move your feet, look ahead. But they didn't get bothered by it either, which is nice. A little bit of tightness, some pinning of the ears. It was really nice, but they look pretty good to move out, so we'll go ahead and ride a little bit. And as always, again, I can't talk very much. My speaker's not working properly. But if you guys have questions on it, write them in the comments. You know, it's really good to watch. You'll see things maybe that if you listen to me, I would point your attention somewhere else. So it's always nice to hear where your attention is and where you guys are coming from. Because again, a lot of times, I've said it in other videos, but maybe a lot of you haven't watched all the videos. So you're not going to hear all of it. That's why I do this. It's free information. You know, it's sort of it's still second to coming out for lessons. It's still second for going to the clinics and that constant work. But at least it fills in the gaps, because I didn't have a lot. I had my 4 or 5 little videos that I watched over and over and over. And this way you get to see it on lots of different horses, lots of different days, and it's over time. So there's good days, there's bad days, but we try to keep having each day be more and more successful. So enjoy the video. Again, any questions, let me know. If you want to come out and visit us, HalditzHorsemanship.com. Would you hand me my halter while you're out there? Don't touch anything unless it's not recording.
It's recording. I wanted to make sure I couldn't see it.
Okay. It's moving, so I'm assuming it is. It'll stop tracking me when So that's kind of a little thing. I always want to start out with them softening, and sometimes I kind of forget to really check that out just catching them. It's not like she's bad, but I do know she needs a little more work. It doesn't all have to be today, but I really like them to soften and not kind of be tense there when I catch them. If step 1 isn't good, typically there's a lot of other things that it's going to tell me through the day. And eventually I'd like them to start hunting this halter rope a little more. So I go till they soften and then pick that up, and eventually they'll start hunting that with their nose over time. Somebody asked the other day how I tie this. Like, sometimes I'll just throw it over their head, but they're kind of going good enough after those first couple little rides we had months ago that now it's just easier and quicker to not throw it over. But it's the same knot as the halter. I kind of run it up, make a D, go around that post that I'm tying over and back through, and then just cinch that down. It's the same as the knot above. So that's how I tie that. If you're ever lost, my wife loves tying that knot. Just ask her anytime you see her, just, hey, can you show me that knot a few times? sometimes it's really easy after you've had a few good rides to get a little complacent and start cutting corners. That's normal because you want to advance and there's a lot of stuff to do. You just again would like to not kind of get too secure in it that you skip a step that might kind of get you in trouble. And I skipped one by not getting on the right side today. My knee's a little sore, so. And again, I'm just going to wait here till she can kind of bend and move her feet, but she got a little softer and straighter, so I might reward that. There she thought about moving her feet, and if moving her feet was the important part, I gave her a little release there, because I don't really care so much. First I go with the horse, then she goes with me, and then pretty soon we both go together. One mind, one body. But I'd like her to move her hind feet a little more here. But because I rewarded before, she was in that habit of searching. So smallest try, slightest try, and I'd like to not have a preconceived notion there. Sometimes it may be softer in the head, sometimes it may be softer in the feet. Over time, I'll put them together. Like tying someone's shoe. If I just kicked her here, it wouldn't allow her time to search, and I want to allow her time to make some mistakes here. If she got too troubled, I'll just release and start over, help her out. There's the front. I'm going to hold through and wait on the hind this time. There we go. There's the front. I'd like the hind. Great, she can move the front, and I worked on that last ride. But I want to free this hind up a little more. If I was going to do the front, my hand would be more open there. It's a little overflex, so I'm not really holding anything here. Can't really see it on the camera. But I wouldn't be trying to pull her head more. But I wouldn't let it go straight either. There's that hind foot. Good. Could be a little more forward. Now, she tried a little bit there, and I'm going to come back to that. And I kind of got my flag flapping in the wind there, which will be a little distraction for him. But I want her to move her feet a little bit. And again, I'm thinking if I'm turning left, of timing up, left with that front leg to come around that corner. But as we get more advanced, I'm going to be thinking more before I pick up on that rein and give her a couple steps there. Need a little more hind end and a little more forward. There we go. And I'll think right. There, think right. There's the change. Good. I'll tip her mind and get her prepared, and I'll think left. Gradually, I'm trying to leave a little more up to her. Keep walking there. And I still think about timing, right? And then if she doesn't make it, I'll pick up on that rein and direct the foot as it leaves the ground. With less, a lot of times I'm going to get less, but I got to be okay getting less by asking less before I can get more from asking less. Like a little more hind here. There we go. Good.